just for our members who are joining us right now, and I see Naya Raman says hello, hello Marty and Alex. Hi Naya, where are you at? Let us
Hi.
know. And we have more guests joining us as we speak. But today is July 24th, Pioneer Day in Utah, where Marty and I live. Um, and I think it's the second largest parade in the nation. Does
I
that,
don't know, but it's a pretty big parade.
it is a
That
big parade.
could be. Yeah.
Pioneer Day is a big deal. And it's a lot of fun. But Marty and I don't know, we're just kind of fuddy-duddies because we're not celebrating.
We're not there. Well, part of it is because AAPC is an international company, a national company, and this is a state holiday.
Yes,
This is Utah's state holiday.
yes, yes. Naya is from Leesburg, Virginia. So
Hey, I know
probably,
her name. I just don't know her face, but I know her name.
yeah. Thanks for being with us, Naya. Um, and then last night, as Marty was mentioning, they announced that Salt Lake would host the Winter Olympics again. What year will that be, Marty?
2034. So we had it in 2002. So 32 years later, 2034, it's going to come again.
What did you do for the 2002 Winter Olympics? Did you enjoy any of it?
Oh yeah, we went to opening ceremonies. We went froze. I've never been so cold. I had those hand warmers inside my gloves. It was up at the University of Utah. It was beautiful. It was so great, but it was freezing cold.
Yeah,
Yeah, and when we went to several of we saw the ice skating. It was a lot of fun.
yeah,
People need to get tickets and come and participate. And
yes.
all of the venues are within like a couple hours of each other. Of course, this is 10 years away from now, so
Yeah.
we're talking about stuff in the future.
Yes.
It's a big day here in Utah with the holiday and with that celebration.
I remember my wife and I were newlyweds at the time, but we lived not far from the University of Utah campus, and we could hear the fireworks during opening
Yeah,
ceremonies, and we were in our house watching it, and then you'd see it on TV or hear it and then see it on TV. It was pretty exciting.
yeah, yeah.
Um, but hey, our Tyler, Texas president, Kintha, oh, I don't know if I'm saying that right. Kennetha Clark is joining us.
Oh, good. So do
She's
we just have those two that are joining us?
well, she's just watching right now. I don't think she's not going to be on with us. Is that let's see here. We've got some of our chapter of the year members who will be joining us today. We
Oh,
have
good.
a few NAB members joining us today, and I'm trying to get the magazine open so we could check it out um,
So are you
and
saying
talk
we have
along with
two
them.
people that have already, or do we have a lot more than that?
What that are watching right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have several more.
Oh, okay. I
Yep, but
was just trying to
they're
get an idea of what's happening.
yes. Well, right now I just pulled up our magazine because in our June edition we announced or featured our 2023 chapter of the year, which was the Minneapolis, Minnesota chapter.
Yep.
And so looking forward to speak with a few of them. And and I'm just making sure everything's working. So I
Good.
think
All
we're
right.
good.
Great.
But maybe Tyler, Texas will win chapter of the year next year. I don't
Maybe.
know. I don't know.
We'd like to have them apply and see.
They have a lot of great things happening. So I'm looking at her profile icon. It's this heart, and they had shirts with that heart and the AAPC logo. It was super cool, and I shared a few of those pictures from I think it was their most recent meeting on the AAPC Instagram account. So check that out if you haven't.
Oh, you know what? It's so much fun. There's a lot. I noticed that when we were in Vegas, a lot of chapters get together and they make shirts, or the officers, they all dress alike. So you can tell that they're all so cohesive and they work together, and They look like they're having fun. They're friends. They seem to be friends.
Yes.
And I know sometimes they have shirts for the chapter members as well.
Yep. Um, Kennetha, she posted, she just said it's a rose because Tyler, Texas, I guess, is for they're the Rose City. And I'm a guy and I just see it and I'm like, it's a flower. How cool. But Marty, you
You've
would have
got to
looked
get
at
out
that.
in the garden more, Alex.
Yes, 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 yes. Unfortunately, Dave wasn't able to be with us. He's flying around the country right now, so hopefully he's safe, but we'll miss him. And we've got obviously Marty. Marty, for those who don't know you, would you just share a little bit about who you are and what you do at
Well,
AAPC?
I'm the one that's over the local chapters, and so we have a local chapter team. We have people that we've had some people that are around for a long time and people that are new to our team, but we're here to help the chapters, and the chapters are, they're changing a little bit through the years as the world changes, and so we're doing things a little bit differently than we've done in the past. So we have some new people on the team, but I'm happy to be here to represent. One of the things that doesn't go away is that we have these great officers, and we'll talk about that in a little bit, but that's what makes AAPC special is these local chapters. And I hear this every day. So the people that make the connections, they appreciate their officers, the things that they learn at their meetings, not only educationally, not only CEU wise, but for networking and jobs. And a lot of them just become friends. I
Yes.
mean, you meet these people and you have this commonality, and it's a great place. I think it's the best benefit that AAPC affords the members.
Yes.
Of
Yes.
course, I'm biased.
Yes. Hey, Leanne Rose, she speaking of roses, Leanne Rose,
Oh,
she's yeah,
do we
she's
have her on the
joined.
call?
Yes, well, she's not. She's joined. She's watching. She's from the Midwest,
All
so
right.
hopefully you're doing well. We have another Texan with us, Jennifer Wheeler, out of Campbell, Texas, representing Texas very well. Looking forward to get back to Texas someday in the future. I'm going to let in our National Advisory Board, or a few of our National Advisory Board members, the Stephanies. While we let them in, Barbara Benton has a question.
The Stephanies. There's the Stephanies.
Yep, one Stephanie. Stephanie Tam, Stephanie the Barge. Hello, ladies.
Hi, everyone.
Stephanie. Oh,
Hi,
there you go.
everyone.
Hello,
Sorry, I was just getting
hello.
unmuted.
Hey,
Hello.
you guys, I can't believe we are getting near the end of your term on the National Advisory Board. So sad.
Feels like I've been around for a while.
Yeah. Hey, you guys have been around through a chaotic time in the world with the pandemic, and we did tons of webcasts with you guys over the years, but
Yeah.
how are things?
Things are going well. I'm glad it cooled down a little bit. But yeah, it's really sad. Our 3 years really flew by so quickly.
Yes.
Yeah, I can't believe it. That went too
I
fast.
feel there's been a lot of changes over the past. I've been on the board now for 6 years because I was an officer this past 3 years. But the industry has morphed and changed, through COVID and everything from remote working to learning about all the telehealth and everything. So I feel there's just been so many things thrown at us, but I love that I was able to be here for our membership. So that's been really, really impactful for me.
Love it. Hey, speaking of being here for our membership, so Barbara Benton, she asked in the chat, does anyone know where I can get some extra CEUs? I'm going to just rattle off a few places, and this is mentioned also in the comments, but magazine CEUs are free. There's a quiz, take that. There are several free webinars that you can take. It's all in your member dashboard. Oh, geez, local chapter meetings, you can attend those. There's probably a chapter meeting happening tonight somewhere in the world, and you just got to find out where it's at and get that CEU. Marty, any thoughts from you as we help out Barbara?
Well, yeah, you did say local chapters. So if you can attend a virtual meeting, you can attend any virtual meeting. Look for something that is in your area or that has something that's your specialty that you're interested in, but you're not limited. I guess that's what I want to say. You're not limited to how many chapter meetings you can go to.
Yes. Stephanie Tan, Stephanie the Barge, any thoughts on how do you get your CEU so we can help out Barbara real quick?
Yeah, there's also a new benefit that was just released earlier this year from AAPC. That is that AI and billing and coding course. You can earn 4 free CEUs by completing the course if you're an AAPC member.
Awesome. Love that.
And that's great. That's a great idea.
Yes.
Yes, we all
Barge?
need to learn about it a little bit of AI, but true, I go to my local chapters. I go to other chapters in my area. I subscribe to all the chapters around me so that I can make sure that I can hear what's going on at all the local chapters that are around me. If I can't get there personally, maybe they don't have in person or maybe it's just virtual, but that's where I get my CUs.
Yes.
And of
You
course,
should.
conferences. Got to mention conferences, of course.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
that's the best way to get some CEUs. Next
The
month,
best.
join us all in Philly and earn some CEUs, get great education, hang out with us. I'm assuming everybody in here will be there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So yes, join us there.
No.
No, was that a no? We're gonna
No?
miss you.
Oh man.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
I know yeah, unfortunately I won't be there at this one, but I will be on the virtual. I believe it's for Donkey Kong, so I'll be on that
All
one.
right. Okay. All right. You should
Another
never.
conference coming.
Hey, you could stay on top of, most members can stay on top of their CEUs, or if they stay on top of the free ones, you should never have to pay for any. It's really just a matter of staying on top of it and knowing where to go. All of it is in their member dashboard. So, all right.
And one more quick little thing, just go to your local MACs as well. So all your Medicare administrative contractors, a lot of times they have free CEUs as well. So that's just another way, to hear what's going on in the billing side for Medicare, and they always have CEUs that AAPC recognizes.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay, Stephanie's, plural, Stephanie's, my friends. So you are here to share a little bit, because we talked about the end of your term is coming. We need new National Advisory Board members. Tell us a little bit about that and why someone should consider applying and who should consider applying.
Stephanie Tavares, you want to go ahead and start?
Sure. Back in 2018 when I first applied, it's basically I had a passion, and if you have a passion in your career and in your industry and what you're focused on, do you love to network? Do you love, the idea behind the National Advisory Board is to help AAPC in their mission, right? So to provide those innovative products, services, solutions to help the global healthcare industry. So we want to recognize that full potential. How are we going to do that? And they really look to members like us. So if you're somebody that is willing to give back, willing to provide that service, and it really truly is a service. It's not something, you think about, it's a volunteer position. It's something that we've dedicated because we want to give back. And I just want to make sure that's clear. This is something that I'm going to spend hours on my side, of working towards their goals and helping them achieve their goals. And that's the idea behind it. And how we can get there together. Now, Steph can give you a little more details. She's going to be staying on the board, so for the next term, which is great. She's going to be relinquishing me as an officer, so she'll be one of the new officers. So congratulations on that and staying on the board. But so she's really looking. Who are the types of people that you're kind of looking for in the industry?
Yeah, so like Stephanie mentioned, it really is like giving back to our community and helping our membership largely. I wanted to join the National Advisory Board because I wanted to give back. But because I've joined the National Advisory Board and being on the board for 3 years, I've been able to speak at so many local chapters, giving the presentations and just meeting and networking with so many members, which is awesome. I've also written articles for AAPC the magazine, which is great because I just love sharing my knowledge. So I know we all love to help each other and learn from each other. And just one of our newest initiatives, which is our legacy, is the Emerging Leaders Program, which we spent many hours outside of our after hours and just working together on creating this program.
Awesome. Marty has been with AAPC, or has worked at the national office for many years. Marty, you have worked with National Advisory Board members for a long time. Kind of share share your thoughts with us about what a National Advisory Board member brings to the table.
Oh, a lot. You want to be on your toes because everyone looks to you as knowing what's going on because you have this connection to the AAPC. I remember when we went to Orlando. Wow. First time we went to Orlando, that was back in the no, maybe not in the 90s. I don't know when it was, but it was a long time ago. And this person came up to us and said, "Oh, you work at the national office?" And they thought that we were celebrities just because they didn't know about AAPC. So I think that the National Advisory Board has a real opportunity to help the members understand, to be a connection between the national office and the members, so that the members know that we're at the national office, our perspective is to help the members. That's why we exist, to provide this service. But the National Advisory Board is kind of the in between, and they can talk to the members and say, this is what I understand is going on. This is what we need to do. This is what the way things are going. This is what people are feeling. And so you have such an opportunity to be an example and and people just look to you sometimes like you know more than you do, I think. But it's a great place to be. I think it's a great on the National Advisory Board. Great people.
Yes, I'm going to echo what Marty just said, because Marty and I are not coders. We are not subject matter experts. So our National Advisory Board, they are the eyes and ears of what's happening in the industry, help us determine our path based off of what's happening in the industry. And I've served with both of you, Stephanie's, and in different committees to help with social media and communication and what messages we need to get out to members, things like that. So it's a great way to have a voice within AAPC, because you guys really help steer our direction.
For sure. It's definitely the voice of the membership. And I love that, we bring the good and the bad. Like, so if there's things that we need, AAPC needs to improve on, that's another way that, we have that conversation and be like, okay, well, how can we message this different? What do we need to do better to make sure that our membership understand it? Or is it that we're not communicating enough? So I love that, Alex has been really great at getting these social hours together to inform our membership, and just another outlet that people can go to and be like, okay, where do I find where to get my CEUs? So that's I love that.
Yes. All right. Well, I put a link in the chat for anybody interested. If you're watching this on demand on our podcast or on YouTube, you can search for AAPC National Advisory Board in your search engine. And there on that page for our National Advisory Board at the top, there's currently a button where you can apply and learn more about that process. So
can I say something, Alex?
Yeah,
if
Marty.
People want to just right now look, it's under the About Us.
Okay.
If you go on the website, and at the very top there's a menu and it says About Us, and then it says Boards and Committees, and you can read about it right there. And you can just get the link right there. So it's awesome. And it's interesting. It explains more about the stuff that the Stephanies were saying too.
And
yeah, we serve on committees, and we, that's, and it does, this is something that we're really looking for not just leaders in the industry, but, in your industry, what is it that you can bring to the table? Maybe we haven't really heard a lot from somebody that's under the certain specialty that they want to have more articles and that kind of conversation. And again, it's just another way to communicate and get that information.
Yes, I love it. Stephanie, thanks so much for being with us. Hey, through all of this, over the last 3 years or more, like, we've become friends, and I know if I need a place to stay,
of course,
I can. No,
for sure.
This season, but
yes, of course, you're coming to Maine.
Yeah.
I love it. I think there's a couple pictures behind you. I think there might be a couple Stephanies behind you too, and they're somewhere mixed in there.
Oh yeah, for sure. Okay, you guys.
And deadlines close for the NAB. So isn't it August 3rd, I believe, right? So you said, yeah. So just keep that coming right up. So, and feel free to reach out to us directly too, if there's some more information that you want to learn about it, or is there some the more specific questions that you want to ask. Our email addresses are right on the website. You can reach out to us through AAPC, and we're happy to connect with you and have that conversation and see if it's the right fit for you, and hopefully you'll apply.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much. We'll talk to you later.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Alex.
Alex. Bye, Marty.
You're welcome.
Bye.
All right. Okay, Marty, we've got our next group coming in.
Still here.
Yes. Here they come.
Yay.
All right.
I see Kelly Moore. Yay.
Kelly.
Carla, Brenda.
Yes. All right. Hey, you guys, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for asking us.
Yeah.
You bet. Before we get to know Kelly and Carla, Brenda, we just talked with a few NAB members, Stephanie the Barge and Stephanie Tam, about applying for the National Advisory Board, and you guys have your own application process for the Chapter Advisory Board happening right now.
Yeah.
I'm going to put a link to that in the chat. And would you just kind of give us a little idea of what is the ideal CAB member that the CAB may be seeking?
Well, much like the Stephanies were saying for the NAB, the CAB, the Chapter Advisory Board, it's about passion. Our charge is the local chapters and helping the officers help have a successful local chapter meetings and just an overall successful chapter. And so you want to have that local chapter piece, passion, AAPC passion for that, and just really want to give back. I helped start my chapter with two other ladies, and I'm not going to give the year because that'll give my age, but it was many moons ago, and just the excitement that we all had and still have wanted me to apply to be on the, at that time, board of directors. And just the giving back and the passion and having successful local chapters, because I was listening earlier and Marty was talking about local chapters and how she's biased and how she thinks it's one of the better benefits of the AAPC. And I'm going to have to add on to that because I do agree with that. And Ray always says that local chapters are the secret sauce of AAPC. So we want to keep that secret sauce going. We want every chapter to be successful. And that's what we're here for. That's what the Chapter Advisory Board is here for, to make sure that chapters are being very successful in any aspect.
We have members of a very successful chapter with us, with Carla and Kelly. Hey, guys.
Hi.
Hi.
And I can't wait. We're going to dig into what makes it's a Minneapolis, Minnesota chapter, right?
Yes.
Correct.
Yeah, chapter of the year 2023.
Yep.
And for those watching, Carla and Kelly may be applying for the CAB. Who knows? But I dropped a link into the CAB application into the chat. Lori's asking where she can find responsibilities of the CAB. Check out, Lori, take a look at the application real quick. Marty, what are some of the responsibilities that they can expect?
Well, in a nutshell, really high level, we have meetings on a monthly basis that are on a Zoom call. And so we have that we're looking for. Then there's meetings that you do in a quarterly meet and greet. We really appreciate our board members to be available for our local chapter Q&A so they know what's going on. And everything that happens to be well read as far as what's going on in the officer news. But we're in regions. We have 8 regions. And so the members are assigned, the CAB members are assigned to a region, and they are the connection between the local members and the officers who are the connection, or the local members. Okay, I didn't say that well. They're over the officers and the officers oversee the members. So this is how AAPC can keep track of its members through the local chapters. I didn't say that very well. Say it in a different way for me, Brenda. She's frozen. It looks
Uh-oh,
like.
oh no. Oh,
She's
there she
frozen.
is.
She'll be back. Okay, can I
Okay,
just,
I think I'm here.
yeah, I don't know if you want to add anything to what I said, but there are eyes and ears for the officers. We were just talking about how what the NAB does, but the CAB is just focused on the chapters and
Right.
mainly on the chapter officers, who in turn focus on the members.
Yes, that is absolutely correct. And we in turn, much like the NAB, we have committees that we work on. And these committees, again, help the officers, help the members, and help the chapters become successful chapters.
Yes. And let's, I'm going to learn more about our chapter of the year. So we've got two of our officers, Kelly, who is or was the president of the Minneapolis chapter, and then Carla, who was, let's see here,
Member development.
member development. All right, all right.
Yep.
All right, and they're featured in the June edition of AAPC the magazine. Carla, tell us a little bit about yourself and what led you, or how did you become chapter president?
Well, well, just a couple of quick things. I am born and raised in Minnesota, and still live here. And I've been with the Minneapolis chapter, since I started, actually since probably before I got my coding certification in 2002. So, and it's really grown a lot since then. I currently work for Solventum, which is formerly 3M Health Information Systems. And I had, I thought about applying for one of the officer positions for a while. I just kind of needed to find a time that worked for me for a while. I had an aging parent that had terminal cancer. I was working on my master's degree. So after my mom passed and then I finished my master's degree, I thought that would be a good time to apply. And just kind of, I'd seen it every year that I had been a part of the chapter, and thought it would be a good experience to participate that way. And I honestly, I kind of felt a little bit of an obligation because it is my chapter. I attend the meetings. So as part of that, everybody needs to step up and help out to keep the chapter going. And so that was part of it too. And so it worked out really well. We had very good leadership with Kelly. She was great. It was her second year as our president. And we really had a good group that stepped up and helped each other. We communicated well. We worked well together. We came up with some different ideas. We worked out our differences. And so it just was really a very good year for us.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing. Now, the Minneapolis chapter has a rich history of great things. And I feel like they've been very strong for many years. And Carly, you kind of mentioned that, just that there's, it's been there, it's for you as long as you've been a member, it sounds like.
Correct.
All right. Kelly, how about yourself? Tell us a little bit about yourself and your role with the chapter.
So I've been with AAPC, I think, since 2006. I actually started coding in 1993 and just slowly got my feet in little by little. And then when I got to Gillette, I went to a coding meeting, and that's when AAPC was first introduced to me. And so I went to a meeting and I actually fell in love with it right from the start and got excited to get a certification. And then I've served as an officer off and on throughout the years. And I've been fortunate enough to be an officer the other two times that Minneapolis was chapter of the year, but this year being the president this time, that was really a special thing. When I applied for it, I didn't expect that we'd get it. So when I got the email that we got it, I was just over the top.
Can I say something? I think that it's worthy to note that Kelly has been an officer 10 different times, I think over the past, I don't know, 14 years or something.
Wow.
Kelly,
I had no
that's
idea.
fantastic.
I knew I had been an officer several times, but I didn't realize it was 10.
Secretary, member development, vice president, president, education officer, everything.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for your service.
But like Carla said, this last year we had just an awesome group of people. My education officer, she had never been an officer with our group, and both her and Nate, who was vice president along with Carla, they stepped into those positions on January 1st, and they each went completely on their own. They didn't need anyone to hold their hands. It was just great. And that our education officer, Callie, she couldn't make it to very many meetings, but she did so much behind the scenes. I can't even tell you. My biggest fear was, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to help with applying for CEUs because I don't know the new system. But once she got going, she was on top of everything. And then we had, because Minnesota does a yearly state conference, and they didn't have any of their planning committee as an officer that last year. So they reached out to us and asked us if we would, get the CEUs for them. So Callie took that responsibility on to get like 14 CEUs for the Minnesota State Coding Conference.
That is
Wow.
wonderful.
And then
yeah.
And then Nate and Carla, they kept our Facebook page going full force. I think daily there was something being posted.
Kelly, what was your vision with the chapter going into this? Was it different, having served in many different roles? Did you think I want to try this, or maybe step outside the box a little bit?
I wanted to step outside the box a little bit. I was hoping we could, really concentrate on, some sort of charity work. But when I was thinking of that, I had no clue that our one chapter member, Lori, was going to be diagnosed with ovarian cancer. And that kind of became a passion for me to see if we couldn't get some people walking in the ovarian cancer walk, do some donating to Lori, help Lori out. She had been a very active chapter member for as long as I've been around. So when she had emailed me that she had been diagnosed with ovarian cancer, I would be in touch with her before every meeting. Can I give the chapter members an update? And she'd be like, yes, please. She was very open with us as to what she was going through. And I felt very fortunate that we were able to have a group of people that walked with her family in the Minnesota ovarian cancer walk.
Can I
She
say
even had,
something?
yes.
Yeah.
I don't know if you heard what I was saying in the beginning, but one of the reason why the chapters are such a wonderful addition to your membership for AAPC is because of all these friends. And this is a perfect example, Kelly, that you're talking about right
Yes.
now, how you become friends, you become support to one another. And it just happens organically when you
Mhm.
when you come to the chapter meeting. So continue on with what you're saying. That's an example of what I was trying to say.
The
And in that-
camaraderie outside of what we do
Mhm.
on a daily basis. Yes.
Right.
Mhm.
And Lori worked with several of the chapter members. She was 1 year, actually it was the year that we got chapter of the year in 2019, I believe. She had organized a thing where some chapter members went to the VA the grave site and put flags on the headstones.
Mm,
Oh, how wonderful
Mhm.
is that?
yeah.
So,
It's a true community organization, this
Yes.
beyond coding.
Yeah.
And being in the community.
And we've done other things. One of our other members, she's retired now, but she still attends the meeting, which I think is great, just to stay active and continue to have those conversations. And Louise Dowling she was an officer one year, but she was heavily involved in the Humane Society. She would collect things for the Humane Society. She would collect pop tops for the Ronald McDonald House. So that's, every year there should be something we do. Our chapter does big business in donating to the AAPC Hardship Fund. We've won the Hardship Fund contest a couple years in a row now. And so that is really, out of the donation of our members out of their pockets when they come into the meetings, and we set up a PayPal account too and posted that. That was one of the things that we did last year on our Facebook page to say, if you want to donate something, and just continue to have that conversation to say it's really important. Looking at some of the natural disasters that happen. You have hurricanes in the south, fires in Hawaii last year, where people lose everything. And it's horrific. And so a couple of dollars can go a long way. If you just take a week and forego your daily or weekly Starbucks and donate that to the hardship fund, it adds up and it really goes a long way. So that's been great. That's been very satisfying for us.
Yeah, and so that makes me think of all sorts of other things. Your chapter has been great through the years and really known for great education. So there might be people that are on this call that say, I have all the friends I need. I don't need to make any new friends. We can't just tout the friendship side of this. We can also tout the great education side of this. You are always have a yearly conference, great education, people with a lot of knowledge. And I think that's why people flock, because they know that you're tried and true, and your meetings will be packed full of information. And that's really what's important to a lot of our members as well.
Right, exactly.
Well, while Kelly was quarterbacking this thing and, tried to set forth her vision with her great group of officers, Carla, what did you do in your member development role? Like, tell us what you felt like was important and to help you be successful.
Yeah, I think just a lot of communication. Even some little things, the monthly letters that went out to congratulate those people who had either obtained a new certification or had recently joined our chapter, that included information on, here is our Facebook page. Here is, these are links to upcoming things that are happening. I think it was, it's being proactive and going out to some of the technical colleges, getting information to them saying, we want to, if you have people that are taking coding classes, we want to see them at our chapter, have them come and do some networking, listen to the education, kind of get a feel for how things work, and just kind of get them ingrained and in what we're doing and what we're about. So I think that was important, and just really just trying to have a lot of open communication, as much open communication as possible. And that included too, we really wanted to make the Facebook website a place for information, education. Here are things that are coming up. Please remember to get registered for our next meeting. And, I thought it was important to include not necessarily people that were just Minneapolis chapter AAPC members, but students as well. So, if they were not necessarily a chapter member yet, that's okay. I think it's important for them to see what we can offer. and to be part of that and to get the information that we send out. And so, and Nate was really great with that too. I think between the two of us, getting things posted, keeping people informed, encouraging them to participate and reach out, you know, and for those newbies to really become part of the Minneapolis chapter. So I think, and we had growth this year. We had growth on the Facebook site. We had growth at our meetings. Typically the in-person meetings are a little bit harder, you know, to pull people in. I'm sure that you hear that, especially in the summer. But we really did well with our in-person meetings and getting people to come in and participate and be part of that, and not just, you know, bypass those for the virtual meetings. So that was exciting. I think just showing some excitement for it, rather than just saying we've got a meeting coming up, showing some enthusiasm, saying we've got these really great speakers. This is going to be great information. You don't want to miss this. I think that was an important part of it too.
Yes. I always say the member development officer is the chapter cheerleader. And you've captured that cheerleading.
Tried to.
Yeah.
I'd also like to add that Carla set up a silent auction at the end of the year. And that money that was raised went to the hardship fund. But Carla put a lot of work into that, and we had members donate stuff.
Excellent.
I think you have a long-lived longevity, lots of people that have been involved for a while, and the longer they're involved, the stronger your chapter gets. You kind of have a legacy of what you've done in the past, and all this strong leadership makes a difference. I think strong chapters are strong because of the leadership. It starts at the top. If you don't have strong leaders, and if your chapter's flailing, then it's something that needs to happen with the leadership. And this is a good example of how strong chapters come about. It's the leaders at the top.
Yep, exactly.
We often hear most from on social media and things from our students who are trying to get traction in the industry. Kelly, how have you tried to help those new coders, or prospective coders who are in their studies and making their way forward, and how can a local chapter help them grow?
We encourage networking. I try and bring this story up at every meeting when I ask for, are there people looking for jobs? Is someone looking to hire? Because we actually have a story several years ago where a new chapter member was there. She was looking for a job. Someone said, we're looking for a coder. The president at that time connected those two people together. They hired her on the spot, or hired her. She is still there. And it's just a really good story of networking. Speak up that you're looking for a job. Let us know if your company is looking for someone, you know, speak up.
And if I can add to that, we try and post jobs out on our Facebook site. And I think one of the things that I've tried to do, and this is not going to be news to any of you. It can be very hard for a new coder who's a CPCA to find, an initial coding job. And so one of the things that I've talked about, because personally, I've never coded in a hospital setting or a clinic setting. All of my work with coding has been on the back end. And so I've always advocated for coders to look outside the box. If coding charts is your bliss, that's great. I don't want to deter anyone from doing that, but there are so many other things that coders can do with certifications. They can do billing, they can do compliance, they can do they can even get into some initial auditing. They could do some HCC coding. I've worked in technology with software. I think there's just a whole host of other opportunities for coders. So I think that was also that's also been something that I've tried to that I try to talk to our members about is that I know it can be frustrating coming out of, getting your certification, not being able to find a job, but try not to be so focused on just coding. Sometimes it's just getting your foot in the door,
Absolutely.
but sometimes starting in something else, getting and finding that you really like it. I started out coding in an operational capacity, setting up codes to for benefits for a local HMO in Minneapolis, and it just kind of flourished from there. Then I did some Medicare stuff. And then I started working with software and technology. Then I did some consulting, and now I'm with Solventum. So you never know where that road is going to take you. So have an open mind about what you're looking at. And I think, we also hear about the fears of artificial intelligence and coding software, especially from those that are new coming out and saying, I have this long career, AI and, is going to take over everything. And I have said, it's not, you kind of have to stop and step back and think about that. There's really a lot of opportunity for coders that have their certification that don't necessarily involve production coding.
Okay. I love it.
Yes. Mhm.
Well, Leanne Rose, who's watching, she's looking for her, I think it's her first job. And Leanne, if you have not connected with your local chapter, do so, build those
Absolutely.
relationships. And I've seen the first job come about in various ways. I've seen people just apply like crazy, but I've also seen, just as mentioned here, networking at your local chapter meeting, building those relationships virtually and in person. So don't hesitate. Go for it. All right. Well, Kelly, I'm curious, what would you say to a local chapter now who is, maybe not seeking to be chapter of the year, maybe they are though, but how can they maximize, how can they be their best?
I would say, first of all, be consistent. That was the one thing I wanted to do, was be consistent. Our chapter meetings will be on the third Thursday of the month at this time. I didn't want to vary because then that gets too confusing. And of course, know what is required. You need to do so many meetings, how many need to be virtual, how many need to be in person. Last year we tried to do just a chapter seminar, but we asked our chapter members, is this something you want? And we didn't get a whole lot of reply that, oh yeah, we'll help you. So we forego that. Try and find something that your chapter members might be passionate about.
Right.
A cause that might be near and dear to somebody's heart. And I think just the biggest thing is get input from your chapter members as to what do they want, so that they keep coming back to your meetings. Yeah. We did have them fill out evaluations. I never really made it public as to what was filled out, but we did, if we saw something, we tried to address this issue. So I think just have some in-person meetings. I think our summer picnic was a great idea. For education, we did a coding roundtable of just some E&M, and then Nate, our vice president, put together his own version of a bingo game, and he did not make it easy. I mean, he said, bring your coding books, and he meant it. He's like, okay, what is the diagnosis for this, or what's the modifier for this situation? And we had a lot of fun with that bingo game.
Excellent.
Awesome. I love that. Just knowing asking your members, what do you need? How can we help you in your career?
And then try and have a list of things you've got planned for the year, so people can plan accordingly.
Yes.
Okay.
Excellent.
Can I say something, Alex?
Yes, Marty.
If there are people out there that are listening and think, wow, I want to be a member of a great chapter like that, could I ever be an officer? I think go for it. Wouldn't I think you
Yes.
two and well, all three of you have been officers. Would officers are volunteers, but you get so much back, and it's very
So much.
fulfilling. It can be very fulfilling. It can be a lot of work. We don't want to underplay it. It is a lot of work, but if you put your best foot forward and you have other people that are putting their best foot forward, you can be a strong team. And so I'd like to make a pitch right here. Think about really getting involved in your local chapter wherever you are, and really consider maybe being an officer. We're going to have elections in October, and I think that these two ladies here would be glad to mentor people if they really want to be involved. All you need is like a dose of enthusiasm, and you'll be a great chapter officer. But I want to thank them both for everything you've done. The Minneapolis chapter is just great. So thank you.
Absolutely
Thank you
great.
so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you
Thank
for
you.
all that you do for local chapters and for your members, for the Minneapolis chapter's members.
Mhm.
I'd like to also just say we try and give back to the members too. This last year we were able to earn enough money through proctoring exams and getting the money back for the attendance. We were able to actually send 20 of our chapter members to the state conference where they did not have
Wow.
to pay the registration fee. If they wanted hotel, they had to pay for that.
Yeah.
But that was like, I can't remember, but close to a $300 value for these chapter members. But we also in the beginning of the year said, this is what we would like to do. We want to have those who are really interested in having their name drawn. Here's some ways to make some points that will give you an extra, or you might get your name put in the drawing a few more times. So we tried to give those that, gave back to the chapters throughout the year, such as helping us proctor, maybe speaking at a chapter meeting. We gave them incentives to get extra points towards earning that ticket to the state conference.
Wow.
What a great way to get them involved.
Well, everybody watching, if you would like more inspiration beyond this and learn a little bit more about the Minneapolis, Minnesota chapter, who was our 2023 chapter of the year, check back in your June edition of AAPC, the magazine. You can read their story. You can also find that on our website. I bet it's on our blog at this point by now as well. So check that out. Kelly, Carla, Brenda, thanks for being with us today.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for asking us.
Oh, you're welcome. And I'm gonna let you guys go, and Marty and I will wrap it up.
All right.
Thank you.
Have a
Thanks,
great
Thank
day.
everybody.
Yep.
We'll see you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye. All right, Marty. It's we are winding down. Thanks so much for being with us today.
I know you want to close, but I just got to say, I have the best job at AAPC, which is working with all of these volunteers, these chapter officers. I just really want to put a big plug in. Get involved in your local chapter. That's the best place to go. And thanks for Brenda. If you're an officer out there, I hope those two women apply to be on our board because we're looking for some more. We've got to fill at least 8 seats. So we need some more applicants. So
Okay. Well, I have put that link to both the National Advisory Board application and the Chapter Advisory Board application in the chat, so you can find it in there. Thanks everybody for being with us. Brenda and Marty, just stick with me as we wind it down.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Chair.
Yes.
Thank you.
And happy Pioneer Day to everybody, even if you're not in Utah, right, Marty?
Yep.
Okay.
Pioneer Day.
That's right. And we will see everybody in looks like about 3 weeks. So we'll see you guys in August.
Right.
Bye, everybody.
We will.
Thanks.
All
Bye.
right.